A reading from the book of Philippians 1, verses 3 through 11. I thank my God every time I remember you, constantly praying with joy in every one of my prayers for all of you. Because of your sharing in the gospel from the first day until now, I am confident of this, that the one who began a good work among you will bring it to completion by the day of Jesus Christ. It is right for me to think this way about all of you, because you hold me in your heart. For all of you share in God's grace with me, both in my imprisonment and the defense and confirmation of the gospel. For my God is my witness, how I long for all of you with the compassion of Christ Jesus. And this is my prayer, that your love may overflow more and more with knowledge and full insight to help you to determine what is best, so that in the day of Christ you may be pure and blameless, having produced the harvest of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ for the glory and praise of God.
I don't know about tomorrow. I just live from day to day. I don't borrow from its sunshine, for its skies may turn to gray. I don't worry about the future, for I know what Jesus said, and today I'll walk beside him, for he knows what lies ahead. Every step is getting brighter as the golden stairs I climb. Every burden's getting lighter, every cloud is silver lined. There the sun is always shining. There no tear will dim the sky. At the ending of the rainbow, when the mountains touch the sky, many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds the future, and I know he holds my hand. I don't know about tomorrow. It may bring me poverty,
In the middle of this loving introduction to his letter to the church in Philippi, the Apostle Paul lets us see a beautiful moment when he thanks his friends for holding him in their hearts. At least that's what Philippians 1:7 says in the New Revised Standard Version of the Bible. But the NIV has it that Paul said to the Philippians in verse 7, was not you hold me in your heart, but I hold you in my heart. That's the very same translation as rendered in the King James Version. But the New English Bible sides with the NRSV to say that it's the Philippians who hold Paul in their heart, not the other way around. The discrepancy comes because of a disagreement among Bible translators concerning the most accurate way to handle the Greek text from which our translations are derived. And aren't we glad to have different ways of translating a verse? After all, what could we possibly be better than for some translations to say that Paul holds the Philippian folk in his heart, and others to say that the Philippians hold Paul in their hearts? What could possibly capture more perfectly our own life in the family of faith than everybody holding everybody else in their hearts? For that is what we do by day and night, all through the year, year after year. We prayerfully, tenderly, gladly hold one another faithfully in our hearts. Doesn't that truly describe the way it is in the family of Deer Park Baptist Church? And all the more so during this season of time when we are not able to be together for Bible study, worship, fellowship, and serving God. And we're doing the right thing not only as Christians, but as citizens of our city and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We are at a moment, a stretch of yet to be determined amount of time, when we must be even more mindful and prayerful than usual. Some of us live alone. Others of us live in the same household with one or several other family members. And probably all of us have other loved ones living somewhere else, even hundreds of miles away, that we are not able to see right now. And so we hold one another in our hearts, as Paul puts it. And we are held by someone or many someones. We all do the same. Paul's initial words of greeting in this letter were written to people with whom he had a deep, growing, and loving relationship. He's writing to dear friends he's not able to see, and he's not able to be with them right now. And so he thinks about them with as warm and tender a set of words as he may have ever written to anybody. As we read the rest of the letter to the Philippian congregation, there are pains that he expresses about not being able to be together. They are at a distance. It's what we can find in our own lives that could even tear us asunder if we thought we would not be able to see each other for a very long time. But we are forever bound with each other in the great, vast family of God as we hold each other in our hearts. Notice what Paul says just before verse 7 and right after that same passage that we read a moment ago. He says these words, "I thank my God every time I remember you, constantly praying with joy in every one of my prayers for all of you. I am confident in this, that the one who began a good work among you will bring it to completion in the day of Christ. For God is my witness, how I long for all of you to have the compassion of Christ. And this is my prayer, that your love may overflow more and more with knowledge and full insight to help you to determine what is best, so that the day of Christ may be full and blameless and pure." That's the ticket. That's the essence of it all for our church even right now. That's the heart of what gospel people do. It's how the children of God keep growing and maturing and giving themselves away in love. Indeed, it is what we've been doing all these many years at Deer Park. But we need to do it now more than ever. It's what we need to keep on doing. Why? Because it's who we are. We hold one another in our hearts because we're Christians. And Christians are people whose hearts are broken open big enough and wide enough to hold one another and even the whole world. Paul's simple but profound language in our text this morning can be, and hopefully will be, the very same way for us to live out all the days and all the nights that are just ahead of us.